Future Maddie. Future Maddie. I will tell you all the things I already know but struggled to actually put into practice, hoping that by now you've gotten yourself together a little bit more. 1. Everything will be okay. Nearly everything is way less dramatic than it feels in the moment. 2. Being in this environment showed me how to be my true and best self. You are compassionate, sensitive, empathetic, and good-natured. Don't forget that these things are your true nature, and always be yourself. 3. Don't create problems for yourself. Use each accomplishment, even the smallest ones, as a stepping stone to reach for the next. It's totally cheesy, but it really is like climbing a mountain. The rocks to the top of Mount Adams were seemingly endless. It wouldn't have been very hard to give up if all we'd been thinking about was the final destination and goal and how far we were from it. It was a process of taking one step after the other and simply focusing on the current moment in which these footsteps took place that made it possible for me to reach the peak of those mountains and see the view. Remember how stunning that view was, how it couldn't quite be captured in pictures? The rolling mountains, the cool breeze at the peak, the valleys and the dips in between them, the shadows of the stunning cumulus clouds on the evergreen trees. I hope you don't forget how the beauty of nature struck you. I wrote these words at 14, a girl on the cusp of full-fledged teenagerdom, sleeping beneath pristine Milky Way midnight skies on tiny nameless islands. Each of us in the camp scribed future self letters mailed home on the last day of a summer adventure, our counselors insisting we'd thank them someday. They were right. I happened upon this note while sorting through an overwhelming explosion of sentimental papers currently drowning my bedroom. Marie Kondo would understand the necessity. Along with younger me's words, memories surfaced with photographic precision. We kayaked waters that turned silver at dawn. We peaked 2 mountains that seemed then to be the highest points on Earth and camped in evergreen forests of New Hampshire. We volunteered on an island garden in Maine where nothing was wasted. Seaweed fertilized the soil, and we learned ethical farming techniques that wove sustainability into every breath. We forged silver rings with a metalsmith to commemorate our journey. This summer program, called Ripple Effect, gave lots of lucky kids like me a glimpse into a sustainable future, one that our Earth now demands we adopt to survive. If you'd like to support this incredible program and help future generations experience the same life-changing lessons, consider supporting their amazing programs here in the link in the article. Every contribution helps provide this transformative experience to the next generation. The reverse side of the paper bore messages and teenage scrawl from my friends. I will remember you forever. I love you. You're like family to me. Rereading their words and my own as a grown-up now, big girl tears fell upon the paper. My nostalgia-softened heart recognized that nearly a decade later, this future girl might still pass on the same lessons to her future self. There's only one thing I would change. 14-year-old Maddie's note rings with delicious self-judgment, with the hopes that by now you've gotten yourself together a little bit more. The kind of hope that elicited poignant, soft laughter after the tears. Together? By now? No. Not in any way that perfectionists would recognize, but becoming? Yes. And I'd probably write out that letter to my future self like this. Future me, I will tell you the things I already know and have begun to put into practice. I'm sure that by now you are thriving in the untamable process of your becoming. First and foremost, with all due respect, forget together. Embrace becoming. I'm becoming enveloped in an emergent awareness of freedom consciousness. By freedom consciousness, I mean that psychologically and on a nervous system level, I am repatterning myself as a natural being native to this planet rather than an invasive outcast in the margins of the system. By repatterning, I mean that I am reclaiming my birthright to live aligned with nature as nature. By reclaiming, I mean I don't deserve to experience my best self for just 2 weeks before returning to the system's model of tortured, profit-driven dystopia. I deserve to live out the rest of my lifetime free as the best me, beyond the entanglements I've been conditioned to believe were mandatory. Present me sifts through the contents of my body, my mind, my life, overwhelming and overflowing plastic bins stuffed with forgotten certainties and tangled roots of not together. I'm taking inventory. What's mine? What's borrowed? What's inherited? What's imposed? Sometimes I consolidate. Some I name anew. Some items I consolidate. Some I name anew. Some I claim with ferocity. Others I release with what grace I can muster. Permission earned to do this by no authority but my own. I'm gifting myself what took me a terribly long time to realize belonged to me all along. Clarity, time, connection, sustainability, peace, myself. Far too rigid for the wildness of that mountain range my young eyes feasted upon, or the rugged hike that led there. Together now belongs in the donation bin of adolescent hopes. Off to goodwill for those uninitiated into the mystical path of compassion and the urgent call of the future. Perhaps you'd do well to donate that image of together too. Out beyond ideas of together and falling apart, there is a big mess. I'll meet you there. When the soul lies down amidst those boxes to sort, the world is too compassionate to talk about. I'd love to know how you feel in the comments. If you could send a letter to your 14-year-old self, what would the first line be? And second, together or becoming? Which one do you connect with more?